What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Wall Street, just coming on to do a quick weekly outlook for the week of June 2nd through June 7th. All right. So just with that being said, we well into June, summer is about to kick off. Should be anticipating some good movement in the markets in general. And just getting this thing going, right? So it won't be a long call. Just want to come on here, give some insights on what it is that I'm personally going to be looking for, moving into this week. All right. So first things first, I do just want to start on DXY. We have, talked about dollar bearishness ever since we was up in this, 106.5 region, this 106 area in general, right? We have been expecting bearishness, and that's exactly what we've been getting, right? Every week the market is since the market's pretty much finished lower, right? And last week was no difference, right? I am anticipating on this market to continue going bearish, primarily to the fact that we do have some fairly weak lows over here. So I do expect those lows to get taken out. So when I just take a look at this, I'm going to use this as an area of, internal range liquidity that I could see the market targeting in general. So just with that, I'm going to be looking for this to drop a little bit lower, at least to, let's say the 103.5 region. And even when we get to this area, I'm not necessarily saying the market's going to make a new high from here, but this could be the area where, we get a retracement of some sort in order for the market to continue bearish, right? So again, I'm not saying that this is going to cause a major reversal, but this could be the area of demand that causes the market to retrace a little bit just to clear out some of these highs that have been created, and then, just start to eventually work its way back to the downside. Because overall, I do feel like this is a low that we're going to take out. We got a little bit of lows over here. I do think we can come back and revisit this area of demand down here to keep that demand train or that demand um chain in motion. All right. So just with that being said, this is the type of price action that I'm going to be anticipating for this week. So, bearish, a little bit of bullishness with ultimately more bearishness. That should cause some other pairs to move accordingly. If we just start with our favorites right here, um, if DXY should continue bearish, then GU could probably start the week off bullish and maybe find us a little bit of bearishness later on. So let's just see what it is that we see on the 4-hour chart. And I actually talked about this on a Wednesday call that we did, called this buyout perfectly. Where we had the lows here, equal lows, then the market, pushed underneath those lows before, making new highs appear. And one thing that I noticed is that's the area of demand. And as the market was ranging for Asia session, I said we'll probably sweep this low and then continue up. And that's exactly what we saw happen. So I do anticipate this price action to continue. I think it's a good chance that we'll do one or two things. We'll actually push up to this area of supply, end up respecting it, or we'll break this high, right? So that'll probably be an option one, option two, or option A, option B type of setup up here, where you take one and then you take another above that high if the first one doesn't work out. But ultimately, I'm looking for the market to, at the bare minimum, continue bullish up into the 1.2785 area. Then once we get up there, we can then see if we see any differences up there, all right, or see any reactions up there. So far as the lower time frame is concerned, seeing if there's any opportunities that we could trade up into that point. Obviously, the market has been maintaining, higher highs and higher lows, right? Only thing that I could see possibly potentially is if the market wants to use this little pool of liquidity, and if there's a chance we can push down a little bit lower, we could push down lower to either respect this area here. As if we look to the left, we do see that we clear lows to the left. So that would make this, you could definitely consider this a strong low, depending on how you're looking at it. So I would be looking at either that option or, the more extreme option which would be give us the best risk to reward in general in most pips out of all of it, is if the market could find a way to come way back down here. If the market could somehow find a way to come way back down here, I'd definitely be all in on that buy, because that'd be a smooth, hezzy crossover down to the extreme low, right? Clearly, market pushes up, creates internal range liquidity before crossing over bullish. So again, this is that extreme low, that area of demand. We definitely got some imbalance here. So if we could find the market, somehow making its way down there, that'll be an even better look for us to take buys, right? But in either way, I am short-term bullish. I don't want to buy from where the market is now, so I do hope to clear some of this liquidity. I could take an attempt at, like 1.2714 or 15. You could take an attempt there. If that one fails, option B for me would probably be, 2693, around that area, right? 2693, 2694, in this little pocket right there. All right. So that's what I see so far on GBP USD. I am bullish this week, just waiting for optimal entry to give us low risk, high reward. All right. So now moving on to Euro CAD. So far as Euro CAD is concerned, definitely the market, has been creating supply. I'm pushing lower. I'm not going to necessarily go against that momentum, at least not yet. So I do see how the market did react here, just so slightly. Did react, did give us a high, then it crossed over bearish. So just in general, I got my hezzy crossover here. And then we got a little pocket of imbalance right here. So if the market can get back up to this point, I personally probably be looking for some opportunities to short at around 1.48, right? Or 1.481, right? 1.481. That's like a solid area for me. Everything else seems to be pretty much rebalanced. But this area in general, you do got a buy to sell candle there. A little bit of imbalance. The lows don't necessarily look that strong, so there's probably liquidity left underneath it. So if we can get back up to this area, I think that'll be a good opportunity to catch continuations on all this selling that has already gotten started. Because again, the market has been bearish for a little while, finding a way to make new lows and whatnot. All right. So GBP CAD, did take some sales in here. They were pretty short lived. I got knocked out at break even. Then the market pushed a tad bit higher. You see, gave us the real sell that we really wanted. So it was just one of those instances where, you take a trade a little early, then you get the move you really wanted. But I think I was away from my computer at the time, or it was 5 in the morning. So I probably wasn't on my computer yet. Happened probably right before I woke up. But either way, all good. At this point, I think we'll definitely probably get some more bearishness, but I just don't see a setup that I like as much as I did on EuroCAD. So I'll keep it going from there. So far as Nas, Nas is definitely gonna go make new highs. Anytime you get a pretty good sell off, Nas typically is gonna make fresh highs. Right. I've been saying that, ever since this sell off we had here, and then we ended up buying in here, and I knew the market would make new highs there. So, anytime you get like a good bearish week, especially if it's a couple weeks bearish, you should definitely anticipate some type of turnaround on indices because that's just the nature of indices in general. But just looking at this here, we had this sell to buy candle. With that sell to buy candle that happened right here, you got to assume there's a lot of demand in this area. And this is why I actually had this area here because I knew the market would come here. That's why I had these two lines representing the imbalance on top of that sell to buy candle. So as that happened, you see the market hits that 18 to 19 perfectly, and you get a massive reaction. So I'm anticipating that to most definitely continue into the week. Any type of retracements you can get, in my opinion, would be worth buying in order to, take this into new highs, up into the, you know, 19,000 territory. All right. So Nas to 19,000 for sure. USD CAD, I mean, it's been ranging a little bit, but it has been giving out some moves at the same time. It's like the higher time frame is not trending beautifully, but at the same time, it's trending just enough to get some decent moves. So I've been trying to sell from over here. I sold initially, market came back, gave another sell, came back, gave multiple other opportunities. So USD CAD is definitely bearish. Aligning with the DXY. I feel like the only reason it hasn't just melted yet is because a little bit of CAD strength involved as well, or CAD weakness, I should say, my bad. But the USD is definitely weaker, and from that aspect, so we bouncing back and forth just a tad bit. Ultimately, I do want to see us come and clear that low out completely. Once we clear that low out, I think we can go a tad bit lower. I'd say to like 1.3535. Once we get down there, I'll be looking for some sort of reactions in order to take us higher, right? So 1.3535 is where I would be targeting for USD CAD sales. Once we get down here, maybe we get some buys, right? Not saying they'll be long term, but I do think we can get something. Okay. So now gold is a real interesting pair just because I was talking about this low getting cleared out, then us buying up. And the market definitely did that. But now as you see, the market erased all of that, buying that took place. So now I'm kind of torn between what I believe is gonna happen. Do I still think we got some bullish potential? Yeah, I do. But I would have liked to see that low hold, if I'm being completely honest. So now, I'm kind of torn whether or not I want to take this buy again. Truth be told, it could just be grabbing a little bit more liquidity and getting ready to take off. So, I don't want to let my emotions get involved in this decision. However, I do just see, I figured that would be that spring low. And maybe this ends up being a spring. But just with the DXY going bearish, I'm already pretty bullish on GU and a bunch of other pairs. I do see the potential for this to go bullish ultimately, even if it's a little more of an unorthodox play for me. But I would say play this however you want. For me personally, if I end up taking a buy again on this, I'll just probably end up respecting this demand zone or hoping price respects this demand zone. Have a stop loss around, you know, uh 2310 or really 2311. Have a stop loss around there and have all this upside to potentially play with, right? But again, definitely use good risk management. Gold can be a little erratic at times, right? So gold, we love gold, but sometimes gold does what it wants to do. So just take that in mind. You know what I mean? Like keep that in mind when trading gold, right? I'm gonna take a look at a couple other pairs. Y'all know I got my primary pairs, but I will take a look at a few others also. AUD CAD, looking for some bearishness this week for sure. So this high just in general, right off the bat, we clear highs to the left, multiple highs to the left, actually. So just with that, I am looking at this to be regarded as a strong high. I do believe that this will hold its weight in terms of being a strong supply zone. I feel like we could come up at least above, 0.908. If we can get above 0.908, I believe that you could probably sell this with a nice 15 pip stop, ended up getting, at least a 1 to 4, 1 to 5 out of it. Because it's going to break out of this consolidation one way or another. Market's been ranging a tad bit for a while. I feel like, we can come up and really actually break out of this consolidation to come clear some lows. I think you'll have like a nice risk to reward opportunity right there on AUD CAD. All right. We got like a nice 1 to 5 loading up if that plays out the way I think it can. All right. So AUD USD, pretty much the same as GU for me. Um, I'm bullish for now, not necessarily, long term, anything like that. I got to keep in mind that we got this potential supply zone sitting right here. So I definitely don't want to ignore that. When the market comes up a little bit higher, I may entertain the possibility to take a little short sell-off, but I don't think it'll be necessarily a huge sell like I'm expecting on AUD CAD. All right, just with that dollar weakness, I think that we could possibly take this up a little bit higher. All right. AUD JPY, not really interested. I haven't been trading JPYs like that. AUD CHF, ain't really seeing nothing there. Take a quick look at these euro pairs and then let y'all go on about your day. Euro NZD, nothing really there. Nothing really on Euro AUD that I'm really interested in either. I mean, if the market retrace, I could see myself taking a sale on it at like 6.324 at 1.6324. But if it doesn't retrace and it just keeps dropping, just let it do what it does. I really don't see any buys that I would take either. So kind of one-sided on the market there. We already looked at Euro CAD previously. Euro USD, same as GU. I'm pretty bullish on this in general. The market broke above this high. You see, as it did, cleared lows, broke above old highs. So this became that new area demand right here. You see the market tapped into it, now it's trending bullish. So I would definitely believe that Euro USD is going to break old highs here at 0.895. I would look for that to break those highs, push up higher, and then we could end up reaching into this supply zone at like 0.925. All right. We get up to like 0.925. I'm gonna be looking for some sort of sales from this region up here, from this area supply up here. All right. So that's what I'm looking for on Euro USD. Nothing on Euro Chef. Euro GBP. I never really trade that either, so I ain't gonna, I ain't gonna do too much there. We looked at Nas already. That's my main indice that I trade. Whatever I see on Nas, I typically look for the others to follow. So you see S&P kind of had a similar situation where it pushed down into demand and shot up. It actually overshot demand just slightly. So this is the primary reason why I have option A and option B setups, because of situations like this where you could be right in the direction, but your point of interest just might be a little bit off. And this is the reason why sometimes it's hard to predict. All right, am I going to get, a higher low from the previous low, or is the market going to slightly sweep the previous low and then go up? So that's why I always give myself an opportunity to take 2, maybe even 3 trades, because you ain't going to always pick the right point of interest. So that's part of the reason why risk management is a major key. And you want to always make sure you got a quick little buffer like that. So that way you're not in a situation where you only one and done. You want to be able to take 2 to 3 trades a day just to find the proper entry, because you ain't gonna always get it on the first try. All right. And obviously US 30, another similar situation here. Respecting demand, pushing up. I definitely think that that's probably gonna make fresh highs as well. So I mean, as you guys could see, I mean, these pairs are doing what they're doing, man. Not really hard to understand or hard to read. We got some pretty clear understandings of what we expecting this week. GU, I'm looking for some buys. All right. A couple other pairs, I'm looking for some slightly different things, but ultimately they all coincide with each other. I guess the pair I'm most excited for is GU, looking for a first initial buy, potential secondary buy down here. And I mean, even if you miss on the first couple of attempts, I'm telling you, all you need is one. Let's say the first one loses, then I get the second one, 14, 15 pip stop with a 90 pip take profit. I've just made back multiple losses on one trade attempt. So as a trader, I want y'all to understand it's not always about how often you can be right, but it's more about when you are right, how much are you winning versus when you're wrong. Because if I can lose 100, lose 100, lose 100, make 700, right? Then, you're still going to end the day profitable when it's all said and done. And I know nobody likes to hear that. Nobody likes to have a low win rate. At the end of the day, there's people with high win rates that are not profitable, because I know traders that scalp and all they do is close. The moment they got a little bit of profit, they could be up $50 and they closing every time they up $50, but they taking $300 losses. You know what I'm saying? So that trader can have an 80% win rate and still be a loser when it's all said and done in terms of profitability. So make sure your focus is not, win rate, but it's more focused on how profitable you are as a trader. All right. So again, the trades I'm most excited for is GBP USD. I'm gonna go ahead and end the call here. Make sure you guys get the recording. Be sure to check YouTube. If you are watching the recording, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for more content like this. And I'm definitely looking forward to having a monster trading week. All right. See you guys at the top or from the top, because the bottom is too crowded. Let's get it.